Good Tuesday morning. How are you? We are live in studio for the Therealmonicaadams show, brought to you by our friends at Invita Health and Wellness. It smells so good in this studio. I always can't wait to get here because we have this incredible candle burning right next to me that just lights up this room with illumination of the light, and then it smells so good. And every single person that comes into this room says the exact same thing. We need that. It's a little positivity, a little happiness as we kick off our morning. Obviously, I don't have to tell you it is hot, but one thing I do want you to understand is just how dangerous it is this week. So please, we start things off by asking each and every one of us to get out of our own way and take care of our neighbors, take care of the elderly, take care of those dogs. You know, that old saying, 70 and over, it's watch out for Rover, or 70 and over, leave Rover home. The dogs should not be out in heat that really goes above 70, especially in cars. Do not. I saw somebody yesterday and it frustrated me, and I know that there's different laws in different states of whether you can actually bust through and save a dog and call police, but it's all those time ticking away when someone takes their dog up, rushes around with them, and has them in a car. It is 100 degrees outside, folks, so that's like 130 to 150 in a car that you are putting a dog, and there's just a little opening that people say, oh, well, they can breathe. No, that's when we see it's so dangerous. People do that with their children as well. So I wanted to start off with a little public service announcement to please take care of each other, be more aware, slow things down in your life, calm down just a little bit, and realize the safety is of utmost importance to you and to your family. So we're talking about hitting close to 100 today. I think we're going to hit about 100 tomorrow, Thursday the same way. We're not going to get a break in this heat until this weekend. I think I heard Sunday will be the pick day. We'll be in the low 80s, and I wish the best, by the way, to Worldwide Technology Raceway. They've got the Bommarito 500 in town. Joseph Newgarden, I heard him being interviewed. I believe he may have won last year. So that should be a big time for those of you in Madison, Illinois. And fortunately, the weather is going to start dropping down for that big day. I also heard, this is kind of made me laugh, but evidently on Thursday, there is an event during the dog days of summer where you can take your dog on the wheel downtown. Now, I don't know if the dogs are going to enjoy that. Maybe they will. It's air conditioned, at least, in those cars that go around on the wheel. So I think you can take your dogs for free on Thursday. Look into that, but that's the wheel downtown at Union Station for the dog days of summer. Some dogs might like it. I know my girl, Tessa, no way. She'd be like, Mom, I told you, just leave me at home in the air conditioning. I don't need to be in this wheel. Adelaide, she'd probably be all about it. And I wonder if Olive would. Who's Olive? Well, you're going to hear about Olive today. Oh, Olive, oh no, a Thunderstorm. That is a children's book just being released by Kelley Montgomery. She and her husband, Gordon, are going to be my guest today. Now, you might remember I was mentioning a couple of weeks ago, we were going to have the two of them on to talk about so many aspects of their life. And one of the biggest is how much they are together each and every day, and how they don't just, some people say, I've got to get away from my husband and wife for 8 hours a day. It's the only way I can do it. These two are like glued together at the hip, and we're going to talk about doing real estate together. They did a radio show together. They host a YouTube show together. She just wrote a children's book. They found love later on in life. They're true soulmates. And then Kelley lost her mother. So there's love and loss working together and just really thriving in life. We're going to discuss all of that. I also want to go back to yesterday. If you missed yesterday's show, it is a show you have to watch. And then I want you to share it like crazy because it really gives you an incredible insight into the Anheuser-Busch family. After 150 years of one of the most incredible companies that really lit up St. Louis and still does to some extent, but the Busch family dynasty, the rise and fall of an epic dynasty, this book called Family Reigns. Billy was on with us for about an hour, 20 minutes yesterday, so some of you, of course, are rushing off to work. You may have missed different parts of it, but that's the beauty of YouTube and Facebook, that you can go back and listen to the whole thing at your leisure. That one will also become one of our audio podcasts, which, if you don't know, those drop every Thursday morning at 8 a.m. And this coming Thursday, it'll be the one with my husband. If you missed that, that was another great show, and it was all about men. And We had a ton of people watching that morning live, as well as how many times that's been shared. They really appreciated Jim, just kind of letting go and speaking for all of you. And he kept saying, I don't know what other guys would think. And I said, it doesn't matter. Just be real. Just be your authentic self. So that'll be this coming Thursday. And then we'll talk about each week. I'll let you know which one we'll be dropping for you. I also want to thank all of you that have already. And if you haven't, I'm going to ask you to do so from now until August 30th to vote for this show, the Real Monica Adams podcast, on the best of for the Riverfront Times. So you can vote for, Michelle's been asking all of you to do so. She'll post it in the comments to give you the link to make it very easy for all of you watching this morning. Then tell your family, tell your friends, tell your coworkers, so we can spread the word of positivity all around the world. But the best of, and it's under the arts and entertainment category, we're asking you to fill in the Real Monica Adams podcast for the best local podcast. I would love for you to do that. In fact, here's what we're going to do. There's a special screening back on the big screen, My Big Fat Greek Wedding, as they get ready for My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, which is coming out next month. But tonight, a special showing of it back on the big screen at High Point Theater. Michelle and I will be there. We're doing some trivia about the original show, giving away gift cards to local Greek restaurants. Would you like to join us? If so, I have 5 passes, so that's for you and a guest, to come with us tonight. But here's what we're going to ask you to do. We're going to ask you to actually go and show us a snapshot that you voted for the Real Monica Adams podcast. And the first 5 people that do that, we'll give you those tickets to join us tonight. 7 o'clock tonight at the High Point Theater. If you've never seen My Big Fat Greek Wedding, it is hilarious. Every one of them has been, but I love the original and can't wait for My Big Fat Greek Wedding 3, where they go off to Greece, which will be a lot of fun. So there's a lot to do in the show today and a lot of fun things for you as well. So again, look in the comments. Michelle will post that link for you, and then we'll gather up the top 5. Send us a message and let us know that you've done so. She can check that out. You can also send me a direct message in the first 5 that we see come in. We hope you can join us tonight for the screening. Okay? All right. As I mentioned, Kelly Montgomery, Gordon Montgomery. We have so much to talk about with regards to finding love, loss, working together, and a hero project. All of that for you coming up next in the Blue Chair. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online envitahealthandwellness.com. Welcome back, 7:08, and it is live, the Real Monica Adams Show. Remember, we're not only on YouTube, we're on Facebook and YouTube both. For all those people who say, I don't want to be on Facebook, I don't want to be on social media, we understand, which is why we are on YouTube for you as well. So spread the gift of kindness. That's what we want you to receive today. My very good friends are in the blue chair this morning. Kelly and Gordon, thank you so much for coming in.
Thanks for having us.
I'm honored to be in the blue chair.
In the blue chair. It's hashtag in the blue chair. It was good to see you. Good to see you healthy.
Thank you.
Because we were wishing Gordon the best, and many of you knew that a couple weeks ago they were going to come in, and Gordon got sick, but you're better today.
Yeah, you would not have wanted me here.
No,
that's for sure.
no, not at all. But I'm good to see you both, and I think it's hilarious that we all wore black and white.
I know. What were we thinking?
It's because we're in
I
sync
did
together.
not get the memo. It just worked.
It's something that we used to always say in television, that we would start dressing alike, and it's just you hang around each other and you kind of feel the vibe, and it happens. So yes, it worked today.
Because we know you dressed Jim. She did not call us and tell us what to wear.
You didn't get the text? There is a text for animals. We have so much to talk about today. First of all, our friendship has been very, very long. We used to crack up because we used to all take a prom picture together. That's how we would say it.
Yep.
At the Responder Rescue Kings Ball,
Yeah.
which I hope
Miss
Pat
those
Byrne
days.
and Lisa Byrne, I hope that's able to come back. That was benefiting, by the way, Responder Rescue, which is an incredible organization for first responders that not only lose their lives, but more so, they are injured, they get maimed, they can never return, mental health, PTSD, all those things that they do. We love it. You used to do all the music
Yep.
for it, and then we would come and we would just have fun and dance.
That's how we met.
That's how the two of them met. So we're going to go back. We're going to start off with
Oh,
love.
gosh.
So that was how many years ago when you first met?
2014.
Yep.
Yes.
2014. And you were just coming out of a relationship, right? You had been married
we
for
won't
how
talk
many
about
years?
that, but
no,
yes.
no, but I want people to understand that the two of you found love later in life after having already been with someone else.
Right.
And I think that's the thing that people need to see, is that's the reason why we're so real on this show, is see yourself in this story. If you think it's later in life, it's too late for you, because I hear that a lot, Gordon, from men especially. Well, I've been with this person for so long, I've invested this much time. I'm not necessarily happy, but I'm just going to stay in it because I don't want to have to start all over again. But look, if you start all over again, this is what you find.
Yeah,
Right.
you do that. You know, I think having kids too, it puts you in a marriage for a long time, and you think that's where you feel like you're a failure if you let go of it. But I did for many reasons, to save my own soul. It was difficult, and when I did that, I decided that I wasn't going to probably ever be back in a relationship again.
See?
I needed a long time to heal from it. I didn't want anybody coming in and out of my home with my girls. So it was a big decision. Then I started to feel like, oh my gosh, maybe there's something wrong with me, that I don't want to love anyone. And so, well, that sure changed.
One of the most important things you just said was that you yourself needed to heal.
Yes.
And when people are going in and out of a relationship, they are so lost until they
Right.
truly do find themselves. You have to heal yourself first. If you don't, you're never really giving your true self, so that the other person that's meant for you can actually find love. And didn't you feel like that's what you needed to do, Gordon? That you needed to heal?
Actually, well, I was married for 25 years.
Sure.
Got out of the marriage and then started dating. Dated for, 4 years? And then I just got out of a relationship, and then she came along, and I wasn't ready to get back in a relationship. I actually wanted to be Mr. Single Guy at,
I already changed my
midlife
name when I
crisis
met him.
single guy. And that changed pretty quickly.
I was ready.
She was ready.
How does Kelley Montgomery sound?
She was already having her. Do we have checks still? She was even having her checks changed to my last name.
When she first met you, she was like, oh, and she had the notebook like we did in school, and she's scribbling the two of your names
Yeah, but a
together.
little hard.
But what's crazy is
Gordon
timing.
plus Kelley.
Timing is so crazy too, because we actually lived in the same,
Right.
down the street from each other for years. Didn't even know it.
Shopped in the
We're
same
in the
grocery
same
store.
circles. She even went to some of the celebrity karaoke nights. Remember we did those at
Oh,
Busch
yes,
Stadium?
at Busch Stadium.
And so people would
She
take
was there.
pictures, and then later on,
And
we're
we
like, we're
didn't even
tagged in the same picture.
connect.
You didn't
Never
say
met.
Connect or see or didn't even look at each other. That's
Same
crazy.
circle for years.
Well, yeah, timing is everything. I mean, we've talked about it. For those of you tuning in, by the way, this is Gordon and Kelley Montgomery. We're going to talk about a lot of things today that I hope you will see yourself in, which is love, and know that the potential is still there. The possibility is there, but you have to heal first when you're coming out of something. Don't just jump in and out. You're not ready for that. You've got to heal mentally, physically, spiritually. Then all of a sudden, it's that whole self to make yourself ready for someone else. But timing, you obviously know Jim and I dated 3 dates, then away from each other 3 months, then 9 months together, then 11 years apart. And then is when it was meant to be. And one of the reasons I wanted to bring you guys on was we both found our true soulmates much later in life. So never give up on yourself is the biggest message I want you to take away
And that's
today.
so true. I'm glad you said that, because sometimes you do feel like you want to give up. Or a lot of times people see people on Facebook and social media and think, oh, look at them. Their life's so perfect. Everything's so great. And it's not always perfect. It's very vulnerable sitting in the seat, because we're usually doing the interview. We're the one that's talking about other people. And so sitting here talking about ourselves
Actually,
and putting
talking
it
about
out there.
this is our first interview.
We're always in your seat. So it's different sitting here and telling your soul.
But it's healthy. It's
Yeah.
cathartic. One of the things that was funny when I was talking to Kelley and Gordon about the topics I wanted to discuss today, she was like, oh, wow, deep, very different from what we did, which we have a video, by the way. Jim and I came on their show. So they have an inner city show that they do that's on YouTube. And we played the not so newlywed game. We have a
is so
clip
fun.
of that, which I think is absolutely hilarious. And I've had a lot of you that have watched that. There you go. So that was so much fun. Here's the thing, though, guys. That other couple was actually newlywed.
Yes. They don't get married, 6 months or something like that? Yeah. And how adorable.
You
are
were
they?
like, oh, you have the wrong show. That was down the hallway.
We'll see you in a year.
By the way, we won. We won.
Of course you
We
did.
actually we all won. We all went and saw Jesus Christ Superstar at the Fox, at the
Yeah.
Fox, which was a little different from when I had seen it at the Muni many, many years ago. I didn't realize how much they. I know. Who's that?
going on?
Is that's Jesus?
Sitting here. Yeah, so Jesus. I mean, it took me a while to figure out who Judas was too for a while, but
Yes.
the singing was phenomenal.
See,
Yeah.
okay. I loved it so much many years ago. So I'm a huge Sam Harris fan.
Okay. I remember Sam Harris.
Sam Harris.
Somewhere over the rainbow.
Correct. Thank you.
Yeah.
And he had won so many times on Star Search. If you all remember Star Search, and if not,
Yeah.
it was a great show. He had won like 14 weeks in a row. What a beautiful voice. Well, he played in Jesus Christ Superstar at the Muni back in my early years of radio. And that was my introduction at the Muni. And so I'm thinking the same kind of a thing. It's definitely changed a lot over the years. I wasn't expecting that. Jim wasn't a fan.
It was pretty dark.
It
Yeah.
was dark. It was,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
well, you come
I
from a
walked out
rock.
going,
We don't have those pictures. We need those pictures.
Oh, why didn't
Thank
I
goodness.
send
Yes,
some of those
thank
with
goodness.
this cut off midriff? Or actually, they look naked in one of the shots. Try,
Oh
who
my
were you trying to
gosh.
mimic?
Oh my gosh!
We're
Why
trying to
don't
look-
we have those pictures? Dang
Gordon
it.
with hair down to here.
Yes, so Gordon, you see now, very handsome guy, but he doesn't have any hair. But boy, did he have
Totally
hair back
different.
then.
Totally different.
You were like Kip Winger, if anybody knows Winger.
Eyeliner, tons of Aquanet,
What was the name
hairspray.
of
And
your
all
band?
the crazy
Well, I
outfits.
was in a band called Nichols back in the 80s. We played stages, Secrets a lot.
Yeah,
Both those places are gone.
Secrets I've never even heard of.
Gordon had a
Stages,
band with
remember?
shag carpeting.
Stages. That was in
Stages is
Illinois?
now leveled. It's where the racetrack is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you play pops or pop? What was it called?
Yeah,
Pops, I think,
Pops.
wasn't it?
Yeah.
Is that still there?
Yeah, that's still
Oh,
there.
yeah.
It's actually a different location than it was when I was growing up. It was right by the train tracks. And then
Yeah,
they
yeah,
moved
yeah.
it, but
My
it-
brother took me there years ago,
Yeah.
and my brother was very big into hard rock and heavy metal, and I'm there. I felt so out of place.
No,
Like this isn't my
but like
music.
a
Sam
flower in the middle
But I
of
was
the
like, oh,
weeds.
his hair's pretty. Maybe it was you.
We did have pretty hair back then.
Yeah, a lot of it.
We're having, see, I told you, a lot of laughter today. So this is, again, Gordon and Kelley Montgomery talking about so many things. We were talking about the fact that he used to be in a band, very into music, still great singer. So with regards to relationships, you two, so then you do find love. You do take the chance on each other, find this incredible relationship. The two of you got married how many years ago?
So we'll be married 5 years,
2019.
April 14th. Yeah,
Yep.
2019.
So you just celebrated 5 years.
No, it will this
Oh,
April.
oh, okay.
Yeah,
Next
this
April.
And
Yep,
she's
it's
reminding
coming
me
up.
every day.
We're coming up.
No,
on-
no,
Our 5-year
he
anniversary?
won't forget our anniversary. It's just what I want.
Oh yeah.
I'm
So
not
we-
reminding him about the anniversary, just what I want for
So
it.
so the 5th anniversary is what? Do you know? What?
It's diamonds for me. I don't
Oh,
know.
look at you. Always diamonds.
If it's wood or something like
It is.
that, I
That's
don't.
it.
Yeah, no.
Wood.
I
The
think
got
perfect
wood.
gift. Engraved, I love you, and a wood heart.
maybe I just remember one of the years. You'll have to let us know. For those of you that are watching, let us know what's the 5th anniversary. One of them is wood, and so Jim and I were in Charleston, South Carolina, and this is the first time for any of you. Now I'm going to say this, and then Brackish Ties, you need to sponsor our show. So I'm giving you free publicity right here. Brackish Ties are beautiful. They were made in South Carolina. They were with real feathers. Jim's not a bow tie fan. Are you a bow tie fan?
Not really.
Right. So, but if you're going to wear a bow tie,
Tux.
that's a
I
statement
do like it
piece,
during,
though.
with a tux, but
Right.
other than that, I don't wear one with a suit or anything.
No, and that's how he is. But what a beautiful bow tie to wear with a tuxedo, because they're all made with real feathers. So, and it's in a gorgeous wooden box. I buy him that. He ends up buying me brackish earrings, which are real feathers, in the wooden box. We
Wow.
had no idea. And that's when
Of
you really
course
start
you
thinking
do.
alike. And I'm like, are you serious? We both have brackish box. So I thought that was the 5th anniversary. It might be. But no matter what, if it is wood, she wants diamonds.
Yeah.
She's like,
And I'm not a big jewelry person. I'm not a big, get me this or get me
She
that.
doesn't. Yeah, she doesn't.
I'm really not. There's just I said it from the day that we got married. I told him what I wanted for 5 years. Like, I just wanted it's like to enclose
to go with it, the ring.
the ring,
With your
to
wedding.
go. Yeah, it's just
that's
the
something-
circle of love. It's infinity. I don't know. It's just
I'm
something.
pretty sure you're going to get it.
But I'm not.
Look at his face.
But I'm not, I'm not one, I want
Yeah,
diamonds
she
or I want
is
this.
now. I'm on camera.
So much pressure. Everybody on the show's like, you better.
So look at
All my
this
jewelry store
bracelet.
friends.
Look at our bracelets. You have to see these. So Elong, who is part of our magazine and a partner, had us at their big event. And this bracelet so this is not thousands of dollars or something like this. It's not diamonds, but it tells the story of your life.
Oh.
So each
They're
one
nomination
of us.
bracelets are what
Yes,
they're called. They're from
nomination Italy.
They actually came out in the late 80s, early 90s, and they were very popular. Now they're back again. And go ahead.
So no, it's just this means more than anything that's
Yes.
super expensive, and it's
Because
so there's
of the
my
story.
birthstone. There is earphones around a heart, for days of radio and our show.
We both
have
have the
Rome.
infinity.
We have the infinity, you and me. Rome was our honeymoon. The eye to keep you safe, evil spirits away. My mom is on here, and his is what's special to him. Rome and
Children?
us. Mine has family on it for our
Oh, there we go.
family.
Oh,
But
hey,
it's-
leave it right there.
It's
Oh,
really
George is gonna try and
amazing.
show it
This
for
can
you.
be in water, shower. It will not tarnish. And it just, when you pull it apart, that's how it
me-
works
let
to
me feel
put
it. Oh.
links in it. But it's just a
And
symbol.
it's made by?
So Nomination Italy, it comes from Italy. The woman actually, Mara, came in from Italy. She's traveling around and was there. And this is something I'll treasure the rest of my life.
Thank
and
you.
it's
There
not.
you go. You and Jim need
I do,
nomination
and it's
bracelets.
blue. Come on.
I know it's
I
my.
love these.
But it's just really special. Those kind of things.
You
I
can
wear
give them
things
black,
that are
gold, blue, copper,
yeah,
all different
bronze.
colors.
And I love,
Jewelry
I
has
love
to
it. That,
be
and that bonds
special.
you together.
Has
I
to
love
mean
that.
something. Yeah.
You just, we're going to take a quick break. You just mentioned something, and that is where we wanted to move into. So we're talking about love and getting ready to celebrate 5 years, but love and loss and a roller coaster ride of emotions that happened. You just mentioned your mom. So let's honor her mother
gosh.
when we return.
All right. Okay.
It's the icing on the cake.
The final brush stroke.
The finishing touches make all the difference in your home, too.
Have fun and get started at carolhouse.com/room planner.
With thousands of accessories in our 3.5-acre showrooms.
Get your picture perfect room and the lowest prices in the country at Carol House.
Because you like nice things.
You know, of course, it's great to get outside and enjoy the warm weather, but when it's time to relax indoors, be sure your home stays cool with equipment and service from my friends at Aldon. 24-hour emergency service available. At Aldon, it's their commitment to continue providing above and beyond HVAC service for all of their customers. They truly care about the air you breathe. Call them today at 314-567-5585 or on the web, aldon.com. That's al-don.com. 314-567-5585. Okay, let's see. Show. Once again, if you're just tuning in, we've been with Kelly and Gordon Montgomery. We were talking about love. We're talking about finding love later in life and accepting that and knowing that once you heal yourself, that you will be able to open yourself up, and then the person that comes walking into your life will get the healed version of you, and that's a very important thing. You know, I talk a lot about that triangle of life. So you got to take care of yourself physically, mentally, and spiritually. When you do that and you really work on that balance of life, the relationship works so much better. We also wanted to talk about loss, and it just is very raw and very real because it just happened to my dear friend. Kelly, you lost your mother, how long has it been now?
February 3rd.
February 3rd, and just like my mother, your best friend.
My person.
Yes. And, you know, you never want to think, even though we know it's a part of life, but it's just so difficult to ever think we're going to do this life without our parents. So it's, as you're going through that, and I remember talking to both of you and being there for you leading up to the moments, but then when it happens, it's just, you don't know how you're going to go on. And so take us from February to now.
Well, when your mom is such a big part of your life, you really can't imagine that she's not going to be there for you. And when you go through a period of where they're sick and they're in pain, you become the parent, so to speak. But my mom was always still really strong. And so I was there with her, held her hand, you know, and my mom gave me life. And then I was with her, you know, when she left. So I try to, I'm very busy. extremely busy, but it's very, it also puts you in a place, my grandparents are gone now, and my mom is gone, and I am that person now. I am the mom and the nana, and it does put life in a different perspective. You really try to slow down, but yet it kind of gave me a kick to fulfill some passions that I really wanted to do. There was a time it was difficult even for us because I was so emotional and so exhausted going through that with my mom that it made it difficult. Gordon was very much there for me, always is. But you're hurting so much, you're trying to be strong, that you kind of lose touch of who you are for a little while. And I'm not sure that I've truly mourned the loss of my mom, and I'm almost afraid sometimes because I kept myself so busy to get through it and tried to stay so strong that sometimes I'm always afraid if it might combust at one point.
But why are you afraid?
I don't think I want to realize that it's really real.
Yeah.
I have her recordings, hey babe, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so it's very hard,
It is.
and you start to get afraid of losing anyone else,
I totally understand. And that's the hardest part sometimes when people say, oh, I get it. But do you? Have you lost a parent? I can't ever say that I understand the loss of a spouse. I don't even want to think about that. You don't even want to think about that.
No.
But I have many friends that are around me that have experienced that loss. All we can do is be there. But then when you do know that that's the reason why there's organizations and groups out there, folks, and churches that you can go to. My mom just joined Widows by the Water after all these years. It's almost, next month it'll be 27 years since I lost my father. And it's still hard. And I will tell you, stop telling people that it gets easier with year after year. It does not.
Just
You will
different.
forever. It's different.
Yeah.
You realize you do have to live, and that if we don't, that this will not thrive. Your relationships around you will
Right.
not thrive. But it never gets easier because you always I wanted him there when we got married. I wasn't able to. I'm so glad she was there for your wedding.
She was. It was beautiful, and I have a tape of her, at the wedding too.
I always miss her when I get in trouble because she always had my back.
Always.
She'd always
My
tell
mom-
Kelly, "Oh, Kel."
My mom loved him. Oh my gosh, greatest thing ever. But my mom always loved everything that I did, and she always made me feel so special. So the only thing is I believe that, I want to give my mom a chance wherever she is. Sometimes the lights blink and things that never blinked before and things around. And so I always, wonder if she's making her presence,
Don't wonder. I was just going to ask you. That's actually where I was going next. Is if we allow our path to be open, they will come. You realize that this entire show is because of my father saying, "Darling, I need you to be ready like you've never been ready in your life," and this is what it became. And you have a book that you have come out with, and you truly felt guided to do that, fulfill passions, thanks to her guiding down. It's only been 6 months. You've now got an angel up in heaven to guide you, and I want you to believe that. So those flickering of the lights and any little thing, any little whisper, God whispers, it's whispers from your mother, if you believe that.
She's in my dreams a lot.
Yeah.
And the dream that I had the night that when she left, the windows in my bedroom was as clear as can be, and it was kind of funny because the neighbor was washing outside. There were bubbles everywhere, but there was a butterfly that came
Yeah.
through the window. But it was weird because I took the butterfly and I was real careful not to touch the wings because they say they can't fly, and I was very conscious taking this butterfly, but I took it to the back door, opened up the back door, and let the butterfly go, and it was very bright orange and red with little black dots in that, and of course my mom had red hair, and so I always feel like she came in, and then I was saying it's okay,
Yep.
to go, but
Well, you will see butterflies, you'll see cardinals. That's also when they say someone's visiting from heaven. If you're just tuning in, by the way, this is Kelly and Gordon Montgomery. We're talking about the loss of her mother back in February. It's only been 6 months. This time period is definitely raw. You need to take time for you to mourn and to heal. It didn't happen for me until a year after my father. I did not cry because I saw others crying around me. It was interesting. We had Billy Bush on yesterday. He was he was talking about how that family was taught not to show emotions. Men many times are taught that, and I'm glad that I saw the tears
Failed that
welling up.
class.
Yeah, you said you failed that class. But let me ask this:
So I
were
can
you
cry
always
like that.
emotional? Yes, but were you always emotional, or like Jim mentioned?
No,
See,
and I feel like as we get older, we get more emotional,
Yes.
and we let things get to us because I think we cherish life more than we did when we were younger.
yes.
Because my dad, he was a crier, and I used to get so embarrassed because I'd see my dad cry so quickly. I'd be, oh my gosh, there he goes crying again. But now I get it, or it's my dad getting back at me because he's passed. My dad's passed too.
We were first met, he would cry and be like, oh, honey, are you okay? Now I'm like, oh my gosh, stop
Stop
it.
You and Jim both do.
Yeah.
Hallmark commercials.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
You get
Chicken
more
a guy's
tender-hearted.
body.
Chicken a guy's body. She said.
Yeah,
Who needs a
pretty
best
much.
friend when I got him?
But let's talk about the support aspect, which is such a huge aspect of what you did. What would you tell other people when they experience loss of a parent or a child? What they need to do as the significant other?
I think it helps because I had a dad. My dad passed away before her mom passed away, so empathy plays a part in that
Yes.
somewhat because you can understand. But you just have to be supportive. It's part of love.
Yeah.
Part of love is being supportive. Part of love is understanding. Part of love is giving your spouse time when she needs to be alone and cry on her own.
Yes.
Or
Yes.
get me to where I need to be. And,
Yep.
you know, yeah, I can't thank you enough for how supportive and loving you are. I mean, it's incredible. You
Yeah.
know, you need that.
You do need that. I love you two so much as a couple. I love the support aspect. We're going to show a picture of this adorable little doggy. So this just coming out, this is Olive. Did I meet Olive once, maybe? Or have I, when we came over to your
No.
house, did you have Olive?
I don't think we did.
See, now I haven't
She,
met Olive in
and that's
person.
the thing.
you
She
love
came
her.
at the perfect time.
Yes.
We got her from another family that wasn't able to keep her due to their children. It was making Olive sick because she loves kids so much that it just makes her go, go, go. And she was exhausted and it was making her sick. And she couldn't have come at a better time because she has definitely gotten me through this time. Gordon says I used to look at him like I look at her.
Yeah.
I'm
I
madly
love
love
watching. I
that
go,
dog.
wow,
I've
look at
seen
that.
Yes,
pictures.
he loves her. I'm
both
madly
do.
in love with her. She's precious.
So you've had Olive how long?
Gosh, she'll be. We've only had her a year.
Yeah.
She'll be. I'm sorry. It'll be 2 years in September. She's been in our family now.
And
was
also,
she
a
a
loved one
puppy?
can be a dog
She'll
too.
be 4.
Because we had
Times
just
2.
lost a dog,
Oh, that's okay.
We lost
That's what it was.
Roxy.
and then it was like a month later.
Never again will we
I
get
go, I'm
another
not
dog.
going through this again.
Can't
And
do
you
this.
know, you've lost
Too
dogs.
much
I
pain.
have, I'm glad you brought that up. My brother Brian will forever say, I don't know how you can continue to get another dog because he said when he lost their dog Sheba very early on in my brother and sister-in-law's marriage, she died of cancer at the age of 7. And he said, never again. And they
Yeah.
never have again. And they've been together 35, 40 years. They never got a dog again. I never understood that because I can't imagine not having that unconditional love
Right.
and
It is
that energy that they
unconditional.
have.
Yeah.
But he said it's an unnecessary heartbreak. And I said, oh, no, I'm going to have to disagree. But you have to do you. Sometimes you have to have time, but there's
Right.
so many that need our love. And you'll never understand this, everybody, that loses an animal. You're not replacing them. You are never replacing them. In fact, I take Adelaide's little face and I'm like, Kira sent you down here, didn't she? I do believe that they do. And it's all about timing. Like you don't lose one and have one the very next day. Some people might do that, but I will forever. I can't imagine life without an animal.
No, a picture of her was on Facebook, and I ran upstairs. I said, "Oh
Runs
my
in
gosh,
my office.
Look at this! And someone has to find a home for this dog." And I said,
She goes, oh my gosh. I go, give him a call. She goes, I already did.
You don't have to tell me I'm doing it. Jim said the same thing. Why do we suddenly have 3 dogs? I'm like,
Yeah.
because it was meant to be. So Olive then, not only is this incredible dog at the perfect time for the two of you, then you decide to do a children's book. So when
Yeah.
did you start working on this?
it's like when I met her, my soul opened up. And I just felt like there was just so much to her, that she could bring the joy that she brings to me and to Gordon. At first, Gordon was a little hesitant with her, and now he's just as crazy about her as I am. They go for golf cart rides every night. She loves the golf cart.
Runs out, jumps in the golf cart, and just
Ready
sits
to
there.
go. Let's go, Daddy. But,
Show me off, Dad.
yeah, and I was playing around again when my mom left, and I made these. I brought out this recipe, this olive oil cake, and it was like she was just bringing this passion out of me. So we have olives cakes, which are also about to be. They're being sampled and tasted. They'll be at the launch party for Olive, which we can mention, and then she is when thunderstorms happen. She just goes a little bit bonkers. She thinks she's brave, yet she's afraid. She wants to attack it.
Well, I was just going to ask you because in that picture, she's actually standing out looking at the thunderstorm.
the window
Yeah.
that she does
And
at
she-
home. That's
so she
our
doesn't
window home.
She does it
run
at home.
away and hide?
No.
She comes
She
like
tries to attack the thunder. There's something about the thunder
She's
that
protecting it.
she hears the thunder and she wants to go outside and get it.
but yet she's
But yet
afraid
she's
of
afraid.
it, and she'll make these crazy sounds. And so
Remember
I
the
don't-
sound that E.T. made when it got scared? That's what it
What was
sounds
that,
like.
Gordon? Do it again.
It sounds like E.T. running through the house.
She'll remember. I mean, he's got her on film. It's just so funny. Everything she does just makes us laugh. And I said, you know what? Kids are afraid of thunderstorms, and to be brave. And so it's Oh Olive. That's the series. Oh Noah Thunderstorm. The
And
second
see the picture
book
to
will
the
be,
right
Yeah.
with
Oh
the,
Noah
with
Big
the
Bad
leaves.
With the leaf?
That's what
She loves to
attacks
chase
them.
leaves. And
We caught her in that photo.
we actually took
Casey
a picture.
Pierce.
There's a leaf under each paw and in her mouth.
That's Tessa. Does she try to spit leaves down for you to throw them at her?
No.
Oh, that's what Tessa does.
Oh,
Yeah.
she just wants to grab them, chomp on it, and drop it.
I s-
Casey Pierce took these gorgeous photos. She's our
Yeah.
creative director of Olive, and that's Olive in Newtown. So the story does take place in Newtown.
Okay.
And then it just kind of came together, fell into place. And September 28th, we are going to have it's open for families, anyone to come to Newtown Hall at 5:30. That'll be the launch party for Oh Olive, Oh Noah Thunderstorm.
Okay.
And we've got the olive cakes will be there. We have great hors d'oeuvres that Amelia culinary art will be making for the event as well. And we'll have possum paw treats for dog treats for the
Possum.
dogs. Yeah, because the book's possum.
So, of course it is. September 28th at 5:30?
Yes, at
Okay,
Newtown
and
Hall.
we'll make sure that Michelle puts that in for you. We've been showing you the magazines, but we haven't talked about it. So Chesterfield, Clayton, St. Charles County. It is a magazine that I actually was in when I left
On the cover,
television.
actually.
On the cover on January
January.
1st. If you've not seen that, they can go back and
Oh,
see
absolutely.
other
Go to
episodes. Right?
citylifestyle.com, and you're on the Clayton cover.
Yes.
You can pick which magazine. You can read the magazine front to back, all of them for years. Chesterfield's been around since 2014, so all three magazines are there. If you go to January 2023,
Yes.
right? Because we're in 23,
Yep.
you'll see Monica on the cover, your story in there of you
Thank you for
announcing
doing that, by the
to
way.
know your value.
Yep.
So it's
Yep.
beautiful.
It was a wonderful article, and it's really what started a lot of you asking questions of, wait, what? We're seeing this magazine, and they all thought it was so beautifully done, and I agree with that. The pictures were done beautiful at Stone Soup Cottage. I want to thank, who was the author that interviewed me?
Oh gosh, we have
Was it Robin?
No, it wasn't Robin.
Julie.
Julie Patton?
And what's?
I know.
I'm
Isn't
so
it-
sorry.
I know. We'd have to look at. We have.
think so.
We
You
have
have-
several
you have-
writers.
well,
in
and
it.
they're all incredible.
And I work 3 months ahead of time, and then so sometimes I
think it-
apologize.
And let me say this
Yeah.
right now. The reason the
Daniel
magazine
took the
looks the way it
photos.
does is this woman.
Oh, it's so sweet. But
Well,
we
both
work
of
together.
no, it's also again
Yeah, but it's
supporting
no,
her,
I mean,
but yes,
she's
passion.
it's just the way. I mean, the way the covers look, the stories in it. That's got Kelly written all over it.
Absolutely. So again, there's so many digital copies that you can go back and read, but if someone wants an actual physical copy, those go to homes.
Yes, so we actually mail them each month to 40,000 homes in 15 zip codes. So it's a magazine that's delivered to the home. If you see them in places, it's because it's mailed to that business, or we drop off a few because we get so many to give out at events or to leave with you like we are today. But we are an in-home. If you want the magazine,
Yes.
you can subscribe. So you can, go online to citylifestyle.com and ask us, and we can put your address in there, and we pay for it. So it's not a subscription that, you pay for and get. We pay to have each of these magazines mailed to the home. And the lifeblood of the magazine, we have to say the reason why we could do that, write that beautiful story and do what we did is just like everything that we do. It's the to advertisers. It's the people in the community that know the value of this magazine, know the value of your show, and want to be behind it and support it while being able to brand their business and bring people in. And so, our magazines bring community together. Remember the day when you waited for the newspaper, our parents, waited for that newspaper to be dropped on the front porch to know what was going on in the schools or to know what was going on around them. And now we're inundated, as we are on social media right now, but we're inundated with it. When this arrives at your home, it's all you're looking at. There's nothing that pops up. It's their community, it's city scene, it's what's going on. Their neighbor might be in there. And we love that it's a little bit old school and a very luxurious feel.
It is a luxurious feel. And here's the thing that I think we need to drive home to you is that you need to be more aware of what's going on in your community. You need to slow down in life sometimes and say, I had no
Yes.
idea this is going on in Chesterfield, this is going on in Clayton, this is going on in St. Charles County. So again, it's citylifestyle.com. I'll have Michelle put that in for you as well. We're going to take another break. We're going to talk about how often these two are together, constantly working together and not tearing each other apart, but look at the love between them. So that is possible. When you always think you got to get away from your spouse, that's not a good thing. You need to heal more and realize that, hey, they're working together nonstop. They did a radio show together. They're doing the YouTube show together. They do real estate together. We haven't even showed that yet. They do the magazine together. She just wrote this book. And
getting
they are
tired
each
now.
other's, that's what I was waiting for, each other's support system. You're like, do we really do all that? Yes, you do. We're going to take another quick break, and we're going to talk about their real estate and being together and still having this incredible love when we return.
Warm weather, sand beaches, and boats galore. It's not Florida, it's a Lake of the Ozarks. Florida Direct Palm Trees brings tropical flair to your patios, docks, and yards. From a few feet all the way to 25 feet, there are palm trees for every property. Florida Direct also provides palm tree potting soil, palm fertilizer, large decorative pots, and a wide selection of locally grown tropical flowers and plants to add the perfect accent to your tropical paradise. Florida Direct Palm Trees, bringing paradise to your patio for 14 plus years.
Welcome back. It is 7:41, and you're tuned in to the Real Monica Adams Show. Thank you, by the way, to all of you, community. We started this show back on March 1st, and as Kelly's been talking about, the magazine wouldn't continue if you didn't want to see it. This show wouldn't continue if you didn't support it, and our incredible sponsors. You just saw Florida Direct Palm Tree. They're going to be coming up in a show very soon, Greg and Lori, and Kelly was actually just asking. She's like, oh, is that where they actually, they come and pick them up? Yes. So we'll explain that. These palm trees that you see on our set are real. We have them. You've been to our home. We also have some at our house, so you can have them outside, but you can't keep them outside, obviously, here in this zone.
Right.
So they pick them up, just like you were asking, in October, and they keep them for you in a greenhouse, and then they bring them back in May. Or you can do what we've done, which is to have them inside. And we've had these for the last few months, and look how great they look.
So it's like Lisa Tree.
Yes. These, though, but people are like, you can't have, when I started this and we turned this into what we turned it into, everyone's like, you can't have a palm tree. And I said, oh, yes, you can. But you have to know how to take care of them. And
can have
yes,
whatever she
that's
wants.
right.
Don't tell me you can't
I
have
don't need
this.
diamonds, I need palm trees. When we went to the break, we talked about the fact that the two of you are together nonstop. Now, for a lot of people, they would think, nope, I got to have a break from my spouse. I've got to get away for 8 hours, 9 hours a day. And then you hear the relationships where the guy's off drinking and he's playing golf and the girls are off with friends, bashing guys. That's not healthy. That's not what the two of them have. That's not what my husband and I have. And so everyone's like, well, what's the secret? Well, there's true love between the two of you. I mean, that's it. You are each other's soulmate. And you found that later, which is what we talked about in the beginning of the show. But you do everything together. You are doing real estate, which, by the way, Gordon is the one that found our home.
He's phenomenal at it.
7 or 8 years ago. You guys do real estate together. You do the magazine together. You used to do the He Said, She Said show on radio. You turned that into doing a YouTube show. You just did the real estate, by the way. And I also saw that
Oh
you...
my gosh, I'm wearing the same jacket.
You,
That's fantastic.
This is what we always
Oh,
wear.
we knew this was going to happen.
I gotta take you two shopping.
That's
You know I do
awesome.
fashion. You also just launched in the Ozarks, which we were talking about, where Florida Direct's located. I just saw that on Facebook. So you
Right.
just branched out to
The
Ozarks?
branch out, yes, so I can sell them down at the lake. So if you know anybody at the lake that
Yeah.
needs a real estate agent, I'm your guy.
So yes, if somebody is looking for real estate, how would they get in touch with the two of you? What's the easiest?
Gosh, that's probably so easy.
Just call us,
just call.
636-487-9044.
Yeah.
Four
Way
eight
too
seven
many
9044.
emails.
Yeah.
Right there. 636-487-9044. So who got into real estate first?
Gordon
I
did.
did.
Okay, that's what I
Yeah.
thought.
And since we spend so much time together, we thought, and I'm always assisting. I'm like, I might as well do this too, and then that way I can help show houses.
Let's be honest.
if
So
needed.
I started doing it, and it was like, when I did start doing it, I had a pretty good first year, and I was like, getting a check, getting another check, and she goes, I kind of like you getting these checks. She goes, how do I become a real estate agent? Actually, she wanted to, though, years before she met me.
There just wasn't time,
Yeah.
There was so much on my plate as now, and so it just kind of happened. But you're talking about spending so much time together, and it was just kind of natural to join in so that I could help and assist him. He's more the love of real estate than I am, and I am really busy putting 3 magazines together, and having the show, which luckily we only do maybe a live show on location once or twice a month, and then we tape once a month. We're not every morning like you are, so thank goodness that helps a lot because the magazine is so busy. But I think, it's respecting one another and knowing each other's role of who does what more or better or
Knowing
is
each
easier.
other's value.
Yeah, and it's respected in knowing how to help one another, and we are together. And actually, there's days where we're really busy, maybe together doing things, and I'll say, "Oh my gosh, we have this and we have this. I don't know if I can, handle all this." He says, "You know what? It doesn't matter. We're together."
Yes.
And he says that he's like, it's okay as long as I love that we're doing it together. And when we do have a day where we're apart because meetings take us to different places, that I'll walk in the door, or he'll walk in the door. He goes, "Oh my gosh, I missed you so much.
Yeah.
So glad to be home." And I think I knew he was the one when we were in Arizona, and we had driven 15 miles when I went, and he's like, "What's wrong?" And I go, "Oh my gosh, I left my squishy,
I
my
love
pillow."
Squishy. Her favorite pillow.
Kelly has a
So-
squishy.
I
Yeah.
left my pillow in the hotel we were at, and this man turned around.
Well, I went
without
back to the
even-
hotel, and of
man.
course they already made the rooms, and it wasn't, and
found
I'm
it.
like, can I check the room? No, you can't check the room. They were being really rude. I walked. Apparently the room was still open. I just walked in the room, and there it was, and I grabbed it and walked out.
Sir, you can't take that. Yes, I can. It's my wife's squishy.
Yeah. Oh no, this didn't happen. I didn't turn around 15 miles and drive 30
But
miles.
he never
complete-
complained
Yeah.
and leave my purse miles away, and I was like, "Oh, well, as long as we're together, to go back and get it."
You know what? I'm glad you talked about that because we just ran through all the things that you all do, and people, like, we have all these flyers that my team and I hand out, as well as on my website. If people go to therealmonicaadams.com, they look at everything. I've even had like a talent agent. She's like, "Well, you can't do all this," and I said, "Oh, don't ever tell somebody that they can't
Yeah.
do something.
Right.
You can. When you love what you do, your cup runneth over, and you're filled with so much passion to do so many things. You two are very passionate people, as am I. But the thing that I love about the two of you is you are together. I do a lot of these things, and my husband is off at work, so I don't get. I mean, it's quick.
He's getting primed, though. Don't kid yourself. And what did he say to you at the event that when you spoke at Become and I did the podcast, the Become event, and Jim said, "So you do all this? What did you say to him? You said something about you're going to be doing this soon." He goes,
Oh, yeah.
I
I go, this will be
think
you soon, all together.
What
all
did
the
he
time.
say? Oh, I don't know about this. What did he
I
say?
think he said, yeah, what were his words? You're very good at remembering.
I don't
what
remember
people
because
say.
you said.
But he said, I got a feeling.
I
that
remember the conversation.
I got a
but little
feeling
bit.
I might be a little more involved. And of course,
Oh, that's what he said.
when he started helping building out your studio, I think.
Yes,
and,
I don't know if people
yeah.
know that, but you have
And
to
then
do
he was
like
on the
sound
show.
baffling. So he built these beautiful things on our walls to do just that because he used to be a carpenter. But because you got sick, he had to do the show that day.
Which was
And
great.
he
I think it's
said
meant
to
to
me,
be.
he
And I
did
laid
do a
in
great
bed and
job.
watched the show.
And you said he
Look
did
at
a
him,
great
what a
job,
trooper.
right? He was a trooper. He
Yeah.
said though so many times
did amazing.
he will kick and scream and say, "I'm a private man. I don't want," and it's true. You know him. He's married to a very public person, but more of a private guy. And he's like, "I will do it, but make it short." So he thought we were only going to do a 10-minute segment. As he sat there and talked, which you all get.
He got right into it. I was watching him. He was like,
didn't-
look at him. He's getting all
He
into it
didn't
now.
expect to. And
Yeah.
and to honor the person that you love, if he felt so uncomfortable and if we had gone to a break and he had said, look, I'm done. Let's be done. I would have, but I could tell it was, well, this is good. I think I can get more. And we went the entire hour, and it was beautiful. Honey, thank you for opening up.
That's respect.
Because it was respect for one
You
another.
respect him immensely,
Yes.
and he respects what you do. So that allows you to.
Did I just hear he's here? He and Austin has heard, no. Come on in, honey, sit on my lap. This is now the after show.
There's so much respect, and that's what happens. When someone truly loves and respects you, it's okay they value what you do, and they build you up. They make you a better person.
Yes.
Instead of bringing you down. When someone doesn't allow you to be who you are and do what you want to do in life, you have to think about that, because it is mentally abusive when you can't be who you are with somebody.
I have a very dear friend of mine who was young, and I'm going to tell you something. You need to listen to all generations, because you can be taught something very early on from your kids in those formative years. Pay attention to them, absorb them as a sponge as they absorb you. But I have a very young friend of mine who was in her 20s, and she found her power at a very young age, and I was so proud of her. I tell her this all the time. She got out of a marriage because her husband was not supportive of anything she wanted to do. She was very big into fitness. They opened up a gym, by the way, and she found her true love, and this person also didn't think he was good enough for her. So it was all the fight back and forth until the timing was beautiful and right, and now they have the most incredible relationship. But she absolutely did not stand for someone not supporting her, tearing her down, telling her the love for fitness and wanting to open a gym, and the dream of that was ridiculous. And I just got chill. And she felt it so powerfully of, but this is what I love to do, right? We love to talk, and we had shows, and if my husband would have said, get out of radio, it's dumb. Get out of television, it's dumb. You don't want to be told the thing you're passionate about is dumb by the person that you love the most.
That's an insecurity on that
It is.
person's part.
It is.
When they treat you like that. And that
I've never not been supportive of
Oh
anything
my
she
gosh.
does. I always
Tells me-
say, I never say you can't do anything. I always say,
I
go do
wake
it.
up with hair sticking up in the air. I look like a time bomb went off when I sleep. It's not a pretty sight. But what does he say? Good morning, beautiful.
Well, on the show, if you watch the show that we did with them, she was cracking me up because she said, oh, he will look at me sometimes and go, oh, you have potential, though.
No, you'll say something
I'll
to the
say
fact
something
that
like,
you'll...
oh my gosh, I'm a total hot mess. I go, yeah, but I know you've got potential.
That's right. Hair and makeup is a beautiful thing. George was saying something about, we have pictures of you two at the Muni. You did a show at the Muni, didn't you?
You did. We had a live show for their opening ticket day.
Yes.
Is that what you mean?
Yes, there it is.
Oh, so much fun.
Is that coffee?
That's
Yep.
what I love being, like you asked, do you want to tape or come in when it's
Yeah.
live? I'm actually more, you're used to being live yourself. I mean, you're live now, but when you're TV and radio, and there's something about being in the midst of action. It's just so fulfilling, and people are lively, and
There's
they're
an energy.
It's the energy.
There's yes, I feed on energy.
So do I.
And it's hard sometimes to get that energy when you're taping.
That's why I just told Kelly it is very rare, and you all know that follow the show. It's very rare we record. Now, sometimes I have to because people can't do 7 a.m. or we're right. And Kelly was saying she's not a big morning person.
Cock-a-doodle-doo.
But aren't you glad you did live?
Now I had a whole day.
Yeah, see, that's right.
See, I
That's
get
what I'm
up
trying to
earlier
tell
than she
people.
does. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you get up early, look, you two are so successful that I'm surprised you don't, because any research you'll do, the most successful people in the world do get up early.
And what's early mean?
Well, really truly successful people get up at 4 or 5 in the morning and they work out right away.
Nope, I'm a 7:30, so I am never gonna make it.
Yes, you are. You've already made it. You've bucked the trend of. Well, let's start following
And I'm
Kelly.
not a late night person either. So
Well, there's
I'm
things I like to do, like quiet
10:30
time,
person.
like reading time, like thought time.
Yes.
And I can't do that when everybody else is awake because
Yes.
they interrupt me
Right.
and they get in my way.
Yes.
Or people calling me. So, yeah.
I
And
understand.
I'm habitual. I get up, I have to put a load of laundry in, feed the dogs. I have all that to do before I settle down and do me. I do everyone else. I'm a do everyone else. Then I come in there somewhere around 10 o'clock.
All right. You have a hero project that I want to mention before we have to wrap up today. So let's take one more quick break. And then I also want you all to choose this, because this will be the final break that we take. We end every show with a devotional.
Okay.
So all of you that are faith-based, and if you're not, it's okay, just receive the message. So 100 days to freedom from fear and anxiety, which we did yesterday. That's what Billy Bush chose, so we'll put that one aside. From overeating, anger, shame, or depression. Which one would you choose?
Oh, gosh. Oh, goodness gracious. What
We're
is it?
finding our way to break you from these things. That's what the 100 days to freedom is all about.
Okay. I would say shame.
Shame?
Because I think that can really
Hit home with a lot of people?
yeah,
Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
they don't
So
feel
many
good
people
enough.
shame others. You hear the shame on them. We have to release the shame on you and the shame on others as well, just to bring us all back together as a whole. So we're going to talk about the Hero Project, and we're going to wrap up with 100 Days to Freedom from Shame when we return. Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online envitahealthandwellness.com. Welcome back. It is 7:55, and once again live on Facebook and YouTube. If you are just tuning in and you missed this show, you got to go back. We've had a lot of laughs, we've had some tears, and we've learned a lot in relationships and in just how much you can do in a day's time. People are always saying, I don't think I can do that. Look, these two people and myself, there's three of us on the set right now that fill our cup, but they also know the importance of slowing down and being there for one another. That's the balance of life. Sometimes I have to put myself in check and I get a little too busy. So I do love the fact that the two of you are together with the majority of everything that you're doing, because you do get that balance and you do get that love together. Before we read our devotional, tell us about your Hero Project.
So every single month you have the opportunity, we kind of do our shows around our magazine. So August was our kids and pet. So a dog, Tilly, was the hero of the month. She goes around and she meets children in the hospitals and lets them touch and pet, and she's a therapy dog, so we love that. And then, you know, of course, May was our women's issue, so a woman was picked. She had lost her husband. She's been raising her daughter on her own, and it's a wonderful opportunity to nominate someone that's an unsung hero that does things without recognition and doesn't even realize the kind of person they are. So you can go to inyourcityshow.com, click the Heroes tab, send us your story of why you want to nominate this person and why they're a hero in your life. And the man who's a teacher,
Right.
this family came on. It was so emotional. He had come into their life when it was very difficult time, and literally helped raise their child. They were both wheelchair bound, and now the child is 16 or 17?
Yeah, 16.
And he is now, you know, they've become a family. And what was found out is when they had nominated him as a hero, I have goosebumps, he's talking about how they were the hero in his life. They saved his life, is what he felt.
Yeah,
So it was pretty,
they didn't even know it.
yeah, it was pretty incredible. So September's coming up. We'd love you to send your nominations of someone that's a hero in your life and tell us why, and then we have that person on the show.
So inyourcity.com.
InYourCityShow.com.
InYourCityShow.com, and then where are we able to see the book? Where can we get the book after September 28th?
Oh, for the children's book,
Yes.
well, there's OIloveTheBulldog.com.
Okay.
And that's where you can pre-order now by going on and, you know, being on the wait list for the book. And then September 28th, the books will be here where you can go to OIloveTheBulldog.com, of course, Amazon, and all your local, you know, ability to be able to.
And
to
there's
get the
that
book.
cutie.
Isn't
I can't
she
wait to
cute?
meet
That's
Olive
our
in
living
person.
room. That's our window she's looking
In
out
Newtown,
of. In
which we
Newtown.
love. You're the golf cart community.
I have to give credit to Isabella Brewster. She is just adorable, and we worked together, and she drew these incredible drawings and really brought out. Olive has actual hearts in her fur patterns,
Yes.
for real, and she brought those out, of course, in her character. it's just, I mean, she's filled with so much love, and there's even hearts in her fur pattern.
Okay, so inyourcityshow.com, olivethebulldog.com, mark September 28th at 5:30.
5:30,
on your
new town
calendar.
hall.
And again, real estate agents, we told you as well, there's a lot of things that they can do for you. We don't want to get them too busy because we still want them to have the balance and the love for each other. Let me see if there's anything before we do our devotional that I need to, there's my comments. Oh, how funny. You talked about the pillow earlier. Stephanie said, that just happened to me in Kentucky. The hotel called us. We went back to get my pillow.
They were nice enough to call. Hopefully
Yeah.
they weren't 15 miles away.
Exactly. I'm in a second marriage. Everyone deserves to be happy. Sometimes second time around is the best. It's never too late to find happiness. Rose, way to go. Good morning. A lot of people are saying, anybody else that had anything I needed to see from you? We'll look back at those comments, and I'll make sure that Kelly and Gordon do as well if you have any comments or questions for them. So let's end the show as we always do, because we're breaking you from habits, whether it's depression or fear and anxiety or overeating or shame is the one that Kelly picked because she likes yellow. But facts change. That's what this is about. Facts change. Anyone who belongs to Christ has become a new person. The old life is gone. A new life has begun. This is 2 Corinthians 5, verse 17. You know, most people tend to think of facts as being unchangeable. For example, 2 plus 2, 4. The world, round. Water will freeze at 32 degrees Fahrenheit. While there are some facts that never change, we understand that many do. Consider this. 100 years ago, only 35% of homes had electricity. 100 years ago, the Dow Jones Industrial Average was a whopping 62. And 100 years ago, a loaf of bread cost 7 cents. If you're struggling to overcome shame, part of the challenge might be that you have not embraced a new set of facts. You close your eyes. You see yourself as you were when you committed a terrible sin, without considering that God has done a work in your life and changed your heart and outlook. He's done a lot of that, and so you're no longer the same person. Our verse for today comes from the Apostle Paul, and he's clearly zeroing in on that type of problem. He's impressing on those Corinthian believers, and on you and on me, the importance of embracing maybe a new set of facts. Whoever these people were in the past, whatever they did, however they may have blown it, they'd been made new because of what Jesus did when they accepted him. This is the greatest news a person who is struggling with shame will ever hear. If you have accepted Christ's death on the cross as the payment for your sin and submitted your life to Christ, then your facts have actually changed. You're not guilty, you're innocent. You're not dirty, you're clean. You're not lost, you're saved. It's time to start believing your new facts and really start living them. Don't judge yourself by the past. You don't live there anymore. And as a life coach, I tell you all the time, we might dip back in the past. We might learn something from that. It's the biggest thing is learn from it, try not to repeat it, and then move on. And you've got to live right now. Life is so unbelievably precious, folks, and it's gone in a matter of seconds. So today's prayer, Lord, thank you for accepting me in my lost and broken condition and making me new. Help me to let go of the person I used to be and live as the new person that you have made me. So much potential, so much life out there for you. And these two beautiful friends of mine,
Amen to
I
that.
hope,
Beautiful.
have taught you just that. Kelly, Gordon, thank you so much. I love you.
Thank
dearly.
you. We love you.
Love everything that you're doing, and I know there's just incredible success that will continue. And I'm always here to support every aspect of it. So you just let us
As we
know
are for you.
when you want to return on the show. And to all of you, thank you so very much for tuning in to another show. We'll be mobile tomorrow, Mobile Monica from Kirkwood. We've got some great shows coming up for you, including some recorded shows. We'll be interviewing Dr. Sarah again from Invita Health and Wellness. We're going to be talking about hydration with your athletes, football players, soccer players. You know, we all used to say we need water, or the parents would bring oranges because we needed some hydration, and then you needed electrolytes. Well, IV hydration therapy is becoming a big thing on the sidelines. We're seeing it in pro and college football as well. She actually drove to Quincy, Illinois, a couple hours away to do just that for a football team. She's going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about shedding the skin you're in as we change seasons. So that's going to be coming up. You'll be hearing from Greg and Lori Wick with Florida Direct Palm Trees. Sally Drake, my dear friend, who is a rock star athlete. We're going to talk about what she's done and how she actually was given the St. Louis Business Journal, one of the women in St. Louis that was giving the St. Louis Business Journal Women of the Year. Congratulations to her. Her MSE racing that she does, endurance training, triathlons, loss on a major level, but finding love again. See, there's always an up and down. So just, I want you to understand there is potential in you. It's the biggest thing that we can get across to you, and that you will succeed. You just have to believe in yourself. Remember, as we wrap up every show, I tell you, go out, be anything you want to be in this world. But first, be kind. God bless you all. Have a great day.